the building. Hey, Dr. Kimberly, it says we're live.
Oh my goodness.
It is so good to be live with you.
Ah!
Well, live Zoom with you.
We're StreamYarding.
StreamYarding. Because
Streaming.
spoiler alert, folks, we're going to be live together in person together. I'm just going to tell you for certain next week.
Thursday.
What? No, but Thursday will be live, but not live on Facebook. Next Tuesday, we'll be live on this show, rolling on the road, in person, side by side, no Zoom wall between us or StreamYard wall right here. So that's the first spoiler. Because next week, where are we going to be next Tuesday, Dr. Kimberly?
As Al Roker would say, in my neck of the woods.
My neck of the woods.
My neck of the woods. We're going to be right here on 68th Street.
Did you see my name down here?
Dave at 168. US.
But
I see the change.
Well, but that, because technically I'm not there now. We're moving in, flipping the light switch next Monday. It's actually not even a light switch, folks. It's a dimmer switch, but I'll explain that later. Because we've done a couple of tours there. You know,
Yes.
Dr. Kimberly and I, when we were live there in what, January, February?
Something like that. No, actually, I want to say it had to be late February, early March.
Yeah, and it was a little dusty, but now it still needs a good vacuuming. But
and unfortunately, guys, we will not be as high from all of the paint, the epoxy. No Special Olympians.
Special Olympians, they're flying. They're just zooming around that building. Those Special Olympians. It is hard to believe, but true, folks.
I don't know where our number one is. Well, we know that Vertaji is like, you know, at the top of the list for fans, but we have this wonderful person who likes to watch us on YouTube Live, who likes to talk about, and there she is. All right, we're just talking about you live on the show. She's wondering probably where we are. We are now live.
Oh, you're live right now?
Yes, all the Special Olympians. And you are now live with us. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Who is that? I can hear.
We're gonna let Amber go talk to the milkman real quick. I think she's meeting the milkman at the bus stop with the kids, so she can get us more information about COVID.
It is very important, folks, to follow it all back to the milkman. That is the source for all QAnon theories, the milkman.
Yes.
There she is. Yeah, so she's gonna tell us all about what the milkman has to say about disability advocates being in the new building. Because
Yes.
you know he gossips.
Hi, Nana.
Oh, hello. And that's Chloe. She knows all about the Special Olympians too.
Nice.
Everybody.
She said, hi, everybody.
I heard that. That is so awesome. Because there's going to be room for her and everyone else at 160 68th Street Southwest. Make sure, folks, when you put it in your Google Maps or your MapQuest, whatever the kids are using today, SW, not SE. SE gets you to Pine Rest. Great community partner, Pine Rest. Hey, folks, Pine Rest is actually a
Hey, you know,
treasure.
I Googled disability advocates of Kent County, and yeah, it took me to Pine Rest. Is there anything that we need to know?
I cannot, for HIPAA reasons, I can't disclose why we would send you to Pine Rest, Dr. Kimberly. But if for everyone else, put Southwest. And as Jenny Markles, another one of our awesome regular viewers, is pointing out, Jenny's on our staff at Disability Advocates. We actually had our
She's
staff.
also on the staff of 100 Shades of Disabilities too.
Nice.
She
And
has a dual role here.
many roles, and she and all of our staff, we met yesterday at the Special Olympics campus. And just to let staff wander through, Friday is when the moving truck comes to Camelot. It's kind of spooky. I wish I didn't have this meeting downtown, because if I walk through our current offices, it's kind of spooky because staff were told, empty your offices, put things in boxes, and the boxes are all in our main conference room, and they're coded by colors and numbers. Ellen Cease on our staff has done such a fantastic job. You know what's really wacky? Our staff listened to Ellen, and I'm sorry, no, our staff is fantastic. And like everyone's offices are empty, and it's just like weird. I mean, there's only one or two of us still at 3600 Camelot. I shouldn't even say that number anymore because I don't want to confuse people. There's a nice sign at the front door that says, we're closed here. Go to 160, 68th Street Southwest. And it's so funny, though. Other than my office, Dr. Kimberly, which I know will come as a big surprise, my stuff is not boxed yet. I will be doing that tomorrow and Thursday.
Imagine that, Dave.
Folks. When
I'm going to send the milkman over there to help you, and the mailman.
The mailman, we've got to fill out so many change of address things, but it's for a good cause. But back in my youth ministry days, I was called Late Dave, believe it or not. Late Dave. Like I was today, folks. Signing on at 4:10 or so was not Dr. Kimberly, it was me. I had another meeting, and she was patient enough to wait for me. So thank you, Dr. Kimberly.
You're so welcome. You know, me and you like peas and carrots. Peas and carrots.
Ebony and ivory. I don't want to do the Paul McCartney here. Folks.
See, you can tell when, we've been busy and then we come back together. It's like, what?
Oh, it's like old school weekend. We just love hanging out together because we've been too busy, Dr. Kimberly. I
wonder what she's been doing. I mean, we can kind of talk about that. As I love the fact that Disability Advocates of Kent County will be in my district. Yes, I'm going to say that, the 79th House State District Representative.
And that's a statement of fact, folks. That's a statement of fact, not advocacy. These are just simple facts.
This is true. This is true.
Yep.
So I think it's just an exciting time. One of the things that I appreciate about this move is that people will be able to come in and almost do like a one-stop shop. They don't have to drive all over town to go to this place, go to that place. Well, really, you need this service, but it's like, where are they located? Okay, so now we can just come in and say, hey.
And it's going to be a space. It was funny. I was talking with a friend of mine today, reminiscing about when we had Kevin Matthews on our show.
Yes.
And not only will it be a one-stop for service.
Yes.
And because we don't want to just, like, people with disabilities are not only recipients of service, people with disabilities have abilities. And to showcase those abilities, as I like to say, it's going to be an empowerment center for people to come get back out in the community.
I think I really like that. I've had a number of people say, well, can't you just do stuff from there? Are you guys going to do your show from there? And it's like, I believe that, we're trying to work a couple of things out. And I think that it'll be a great place to do that. Many times we get the runaround. I know my first experience as a person with a disability coming into the disability community late at 47, you're really settled in your ways, but to be able to come I know how I felt when I rolled in that door, and it's like, oh, well, if you need help with transportation, if you need help with education, well, if you have an issue over here with your disability, oh, you want a different type of wheelchair, your wheelchair is not working for you. Oh, yeah, by the way, you know what? I don't have enough grab bars and I don't have a great threshold. It was awesome to come to one place, and I felt extremely empowered by the time that I left. So I can only imagine rolling into 127,000 square feet of, it's like almost going to the mall.
Well,
Let me just get my bags. And y'all know me, I love snacks. You can even get snacks. I have it right here. It is called Brody's Bee Cafe.
Brody's not there yet, but will be. And there's a place called the Collaborative Cafe that's in the center. Well, it's not. It's a rectangle, so it really doesn't have a center, though. It's kind of.
How about centrally located?
Centrally located, and yeah, again, as you pointed out, Dr. Kimberly, it's a place, and that when we get to know each other, because it's one of my favorite parts of the Zoom world becoming right-sized, and when we get to see each other, is just the chit-chat, and back to, Kevin Matthews, what I was talking with a friend about today is, producing all kinds of shows out at the new, we're going to have an auditorium, folks. It's not fully accessible yet, but it will be. Not yet,
but I'm telling you, it's a nice auditorium, and you actually can go in the gym, and the gym can be, accessible.
Exactly.
We had an event there, and it was like, hey, this was nice.
Yep. And then, but the other part of the reminiscing today about Kevin Matthews was truly, I don't know if it was my favorite show. It'd be hard to, it's like picking your favorite kid, but maybe our top 10 shows for certain. When we had Kevin Matthews on, and again, I was just strapped in. Hey, Heidi, that I was strapped in.
Oh, yeah.
Comedic mayhem. That when Dr. Kimberly and Kevin get together, again, folks, they bring the house down with comedic mayhem. And instead, Dr. Kimberly and Kevin talked about racial, like the racial injustice in our world and the history. And Kevin telling the story as a 6-year-old kid in Pontiac, watching his black neighbor's house get burned down for no reason other than the fact they were black. Yeah. And again, not that, that's been a consistent theme over the last 2 years with our shows. We're just like a week away from our second anniversary.
Can you believe it? Year two.
And so we still have a long way to go as a community. However, that show, when Kevin and Dr. Kimberly got heavy, deep, and real by accident. And again, that's when people just start talking, just by accident, you talk to somebody at the water cooler in the Collaborative Cafe, and you get to know somebody, and they get to share, you get to share. You can't schedule that on Zoom. Hey, Dr. Kimberly, let's have some quality time at 5:05 today by Zoom. I'll send you a link.
Well, we've done it. We've made it work for the last couple of years.
But we don't. But I think that's not because I don't want to get too heavy, deep, and real, because we're going to talk about our inclusive campus. But it's because we've spent that time together. We got to know each other beforehand, and so we're able to bring our guests to the heavy, deep, and real part of the pool quicker because we have that relationship. If we would have started this with Zoom, and just say, hey, Dr. Kimberly, my name's Dave and I work at Disability Advocates. And could you hang out with me on Zoom and Facebook Live? You'd be like, what? Right?
You know, I think one of the other shows that was just as hot and heavy as that one was when we had County Commissioner Womack on.
Oh, 100%.
And I mean, we had to stop just because the emotions got so high, and just taking the moment. We all had a box of tissue, waiting for somebody to get him some tissue, and so wow.
But see, and then I'm going to make the segue back to 160 68th Street Southwest, because people see this show, and they assume that, okay, at 4:10 we flip the live button and we go live, and it's those many conversations we have and the work we have in the community, that we're talking about issues, the Black and Brown Community Partners Luncheon of last month, that we're doing this work, and then we come together, and it's like, the planning that went into the Special Olympics campus is, I believe 3 years ago is when, 3 years ago, May, Tim gave me a phone call, Tim Heilman, Executive Director of Special Olympics Michigan. And he said, hey, Dave, we just bought this 127,000 square foot building. You want to come move in with us? And I'm like, maybe. And 3 years later, May 12th, we're having a ribbon cutting. May 12th, 4 to 6 o'clock, 160 68th Street Southwest. Be there, folks. It's an open invitation to the community. Ribbon cutting around 5 o'clock. Come tour the space. We're going to have tours from here till forever. But
what happens? But what happens on May 12th, right?
What happens?
I'll be there. But the Brilliance Awards start at 5:15.
On the 12th, I think they were the second. I'm going to double check that email because I owe you an email on that.
Actually, the 4th is when the finalists have their reception. But on the 12th is when they have. So I will scoot through at 4 o'clock and say hello, and then I'm gonna turn right around and
say hello. Check out a sign up front. No spoiler, folks. You got to come up and see the sign in the lobby. You got to see it. I'm not going to say what the sign says, but you have to be there when we do the live tour in a couple of weeks. You'll see the sign, but definitely be there May 12th to see the sign. Until then, mum's the word. Secrets? Nothing. You got to see it. No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I think we gave a little bit of a spoiler when we did the live tour, though.
Well,
hey, Maddie.
We did a spoiler. Hey, Madai. We did a spoiler, but now when you see it, it's like, holy moly. To quote a great scholar, holy moly. So you'll exactly. So
well, we want to say good afternoon to, we've got quite a few. Scott Wade, Toya Taylor, Lark Cousy. Yeah, Lark Cousy Jones is watching. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got Vertaji is watching. Got some great folks over there watching us. Hey, Maddie, she is all the way in. Hey, Dontrell. How's it going?
We've got some good folks out there listening, hanging out with us as we talk about this collaborative campus, the inclusive center. We'll get a better name for. Don't quote me. Is this going out live?
I like the Empowerment Center because you know how I feel about living a self-directed life. And is that your phone making that weird noise?
Is that? Let me I
Is that
muted
you?
myself. And let me mute myself again, and you keep talking, Dr. Kimberly.
That Dave. No, but I like the idea of an empowerment center where I can come in.
I'm totally with you. I mean, I'm going to keep calling it that. That's the unofficial title, because it's not. I mean, folks, it's not a disability ghetto. Oh, you're in a wheelchair. You need to go out to 160 68th Street. It's
It
like,
definitely is not. Hey, I mean, it's way too classy for all of that. I mean, when you come in, you'll say, whoa, yes.
Humble elegance, I like to call it.
It's way too classy to be considered, a ghetto. But just the piece that I just always appreciate. I had this weekend folks coming from Muskegon. Hey, look, we're new to disability. This is what's going on. You know, two major cases, and I was just like, okay, we can do this. We can get her done. And to be able to say, we got a nice campus here. We got an empowerment campus. So whatever it is that you need, we got it right here. But I want to talk about the piece, how you're going into the community. Not only are you making this major move from over there with Queen Guinevere, and you're just going to come over here to the new neighborhood, but I don't know. I think I'm getting a little emotional because I think this is number one, the fact that Special Olympics, again, purchased this building and invited everyone else to come in. The forethought, the intentionality. And I think one of the things that I'm going to like the most is, hey, if you have an apartment, you have a home, you're looking to build, you need to change, because I believe in aging in place. Let's buy it. They always say measure twice, cut once. So I like the fact that there was a lot of measurement and there was only one cutting and everyone came in together. There was a lot of measurement. And then we said, okay, fine, we're going to make this one cut. And it's at 160 68th Street Southwest. And when you come in, you can feel it. You feel the intentionality that you have more than 9 agencies that care enough about the community to come together and to help. Because one of the things that we have found out being in this pandemic has been the folks who did not have a disability now have a disability. They're considered quote unquote long haulers. As a matter of fact, today on the Today Show, they were saying, oh my goodness, clinics are having to pop up. This is something that we're just really not familiar with. So we're taking each person as they come in. But what we're finding out is that people are now falling on different spectrums. They're like, oh yeah, now that they've had COVID, some people we've diagnosed them on the autism spectrum, or we have them on the neurological disorder spectrum, and we're just trying to keep working through it. And so I think that's the piece that I'm the most excited about, that there is an answer before there was an answer ready before anybody knew that there needed to be an answer. That 3 years ago, you guys came together, made this major decision. And now that everyone is starting to come out of the cocoon, and even though I think we're about to go back in, with this whole COVID, that there are people who now are having symptoms of like us, folks that's disabled, if you will, and now they have a place to come to. I think that's the piece that I'm most excited. Was it there for me, 9 years ago? Can you believe it? It's been 9 years for me, Dave. This is my 9th year. Wow. It wasn't there, but so grateful. We keep moving, we keep pressing, and we keep doing. And it's like, yep, each year we get better and better. We come together and it's like, yeah. So now I'm looking at all the folks that I can say, hey, got one place for you to go.
is my microphone all crunchy on your end?
It is.
Okay, I apologize for my old phone, folks, but that's why. Does it help when I mute or no? Okay, I'll keep muting.
But you can't talk muted. I mean,
I know, but I'll be quick, because it is that, as you said, the forethought and coming together, and that we keep the conspiracy alive, because you were starting to allude to, not only are we inviting people out to 160 68th Street Southwest, we are also, as I mentioned, we had the Black and Brown Community Luncheon on March, I think it was 18th. We're going to have another one on June 17th. We're going to keep having these, because we're going to keep collaborating, because we see all the needs for equity in an intersectional perspective: race, gender, ability, all age. There's all these different things that come together. And so as we go out, and then we're going to go out even further, because this model that we have a staff person that is going to be hanging out at the United Methodist Community House on a regular basis, so people see us in the community. You can come out to 160 68th Street, but we're also going to be in the city, and we're going to hone this model, and then we're going to go to North Kent Connect up north of Rockford, and then we're going to hopefully go out to Lowell, and then we're hoping we go out all the way to Ionia and Greenville and Big Rapids, because there are folks with disabilities who need that hand up, not a hand out, how they can get their focus on their self-directed life. Just a little bit of help goes a long way. We know that. Dr. Kimberly continues to preach that, because at the end of the day, we didn't do a lot. It was Dr. Kimberly that, roared forward in her own life. We just did some, when you really think about it, there's that scary part of life that we call trampolines, but a critical part of a trampoline are the spotters, and we were the spotters, and Dr. Kimberly in her wheelchair is doing backflips and front flips and all that stuff, and we're just spotting, cheering, and encouraging.
I'm excited. So for any of you who would love to do Legislative Day, May 10th is Legislative Day in Lansing. You can meet us at 160 68th Street, and we're just going to carpool to Lansing. And I'm telling you, I really got bit by the bug, on Legislative Day, and to see a lot of the changes, meet the legislators, and did a few things for the lobbyists, and and it got to the point, you're always here. Maybe you need an office here. And I was like, maybe I do. I'm being my sarcastic self, laughing. And here it is. I want to say we've talked about this for almost 5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years now. And, timing is everything. So this is, I believe I'm the right person. This is the right time. And it's going to be different to go back on this May 10th, knowing that, I'm looking for my office right now. Who's in my office? You got to get out, though. Get out of my office. And we're going to see if the office is accessible. Can my wheelchair get around in there? So.
I'm pretty sure they will be, at least the new office building. I say new, but it's probably 20 years old. The House office building that goes over one of the streets downtown of downtown Lansing.
It's a beautiful building, though. It does look new, though, Dave. It does.
Yep, they take good care of it. There's brand new Senate office building as well. And the Capitol, unfortunately, is still 140 years old. It has some accessibility needs, but we're working on those in the accessibility. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Exactly. So, it is that Legislative Day, May 10th. I know coming out of Disability Awareness Day, we're fired up to have some legislative coffees, and so that will be out soon. The invitations, and then we're still we're still not giving up the ghost yet. I'm working with Deborah Anderson that we're going to have those classes hopefully soon. I was just checking in with the team today that, she was our fantastic keynote speaker at Disability Awareness Day on March 11th. And
Yes.
she is just, powerhouse. She gets a lot of the blame for Dr. Kimberly. I mean, a lot of the credit for helping Dr. Kimberly get ready for the stage. And so that is going to be the stuff that we're going to be doing at our new offices and out in the community. It's not an either or, it's a both and getting out, being present so that folks don't have to travel as much. And so, we are so excited about the new space and the new attitude as we come out of COVID, to be present in other corners of our county.
Absolutely. So not just by video, not just by video. Not just by
We are going to
video.
be live all over the county, and at the Capitol, May 10th at the Capitol, May 12th, cutting a ribbon, June 9th, absolutely accessible.
Not till
Kent.
June. Absolutely accessible Kent. Yes.
We'll talk more about that soon, but June 9th, head to our website now to get more details, bringing in some more architects and planners to talk about how are we building the world in a way that is fully inclusive.
Well, I like to do those wonderful shameless plugs. Bump, 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 bump. Just how we have worked with Experience GR and some of the videotaping. You guys need to kind of go over there to their website and you'll see many of us in their videos in different areas. It was really, really nice. And yes, I'm going to say it, a little plug. So one of the assistants for the Kent County Democratic Party said, hey, I just want you to know that I went out there to Frederick Meyer Garden. I'm in their welcome center. They're playing this welcome video. And who do I see rolling through? I was like, what? You saw me? They're like, yes. So, they were like, oh my God, she's running for state rep. I know her, right? I know her. She's running for state rep, 79th district. You were like, what? Yeah. So, I mean, to be a part of such a bigger project, in this whole community, that everybody needs to do their part. It's wonderful.
And folks, one measure of success, and this is a small s success, is that Experience Grand Rapids, Downtown Grand Rapids Inc., working with the city of Wyoming and Kentwood. The measure of success is that these organizations and municipalities are saying, what's next? Let's do more together.
Yes.
They're not like, oh, we check that box. No, people are like, we know we can do more. We know that inclusion is an ongoing evolution and bringing folks in, to be inclusive is a verb. Let's welcome folks. And so that is the measure of success. They're like, where's Dr. Kimberly? We need her on this issue. We need her.
What did we do? Oh, the Plainfield Township project. That was one as well, for everyone to come out and say, hey, we want your expertise. We have this, thoroughfare of businesses and it needs to be revived. And we know in order to revive it, it needs to be inclusive because we want to take grandma out for coffee as well, or maybe my cousin happens to be in a wheelchair, or maybe my aunt is blind. So how do we make this inclusive? And, little Timmy is deaf. So, hey, what do we need to do? And how wonderful was it to receive the phone call? Hey, we want you, as a part of our, Plainfield Township planning session to find out what does life look like for you? so that we can be totally inclusive and everyone can come through. And I just really appreciated that, you know, because we're all affected.
And we keep honing that model. How do we continue to make that better? So that way we are continuing to communicate that in our work with Downtown Grand Rapids Inc., you know, that the kind of bumper sticker is know before you go. Because I love asking this question because it usually stumps people. What is the number one barrier for people with disabilities in downtown Grand Rapids, downtown Kentwood, downtown Byron Center? What's the number one barrier? See, we should almost have a contest on Rolling on the Road and having people try to guess it before I give the answer. I'm not going to give the answer. Folks, put in the comments below, and we're going to give, it will be a real prize. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is because I don't know what it is, but we're going to give a real prize, at least a $25 gift card. I'm guaranteeing that.
At least.
Put the answer in the comments below. What do you think the number one barrier is for people with disabilities to visit a new downtown? Downtown Grand Rapids, Kentwood, Byron Center, Rockford. Pick the downtown. Number one barrier. Now, I know who was involved in this. So, like if Vicki Schmidt or if Dr. Kimberly answers, they're not winning the $25 gift card. Okay. But anybody else, you know, no employees of disability advocates or relatives of employees may participate in this contest. All those fine, look at the fine print. But folks, we might give the answer next week. We might give it the week after. But keep putting in the comments below, what is the number one barrier for the inclusion of people or for people with disabilities to visit a new downtown? Get it out, Facebook. And if we have more than one winner, we'll draw it out of a hat.
Okay, so what is the question? So I'm gonna post the question as soon as we get on. It says, what is
the number one barrier for people with disabilities to visit a new downtown? New to them. You know, first time to Grand Rapids, first time to Holland, first time to Traverse City. There is a number one barrier out there, folks. We have done the research. Dr. Kimberly was part of that research. That's why she can't win the $25 gift card. So what is the number one barrier that basically prevents so many people with disabilities from visiting a new place?
I'm gonna say visit a new place. And when is the date that they let's see, we don't do it this coming Tuesday.
Well, next Tuesday will be what day? Next Tuesday's the 3rd. So we'll be live at Special Olympics. Yes, the 3rd, and then the 10th. So maybe it could be the 3rd, it could be the 10th, folks. But answer
Let's say
quick.
the 10th.
We're going to say the 10th. On the 10th, so you got 2 weeks to think about it. Enter as many times. No purchase necessary, folks. No purchase necessary to enter in this contest. I think I watched too much TV, Dr. Kimberly.
Way too much infomercials. You know, I'm just saying. All right. Well, I'll make up a.
Stanley, you can't put one in because you're married to one of the co-hosts.
He said, Stanley, you cannot participate because you're married to me. All right. But look.
Well, Ronnie's already answering. I love Ronnie. Keep throwing out them answers. I love it. No limit on answers. Keep putting them out. I'm not even going to say if you're close or far because, come on, folks. You got 2 weeks to get to a good answer. We're going to post it on our Facebook page as well as Disability Advocates because, folks, this is based on research, and we are putting so much energy on knocking this barrier out because it's number one. Take down number one.
So we are really excited to do this. We're going to post this, And we're gonna have somebody keep writing down your name and your answers. And I tell you what, we'll have let's say 3 gift cards available, hopefully, because I'm sure people will have some great answers. But we'll do three gift cards.
And did I give you one of those T-shirts, Dr. Kimberly?
No.
I have one for you. You're going to get a $25 gift card and a T-shirt, and the T-shirt says, if you do not include disability in your diversity work, you're doing it wrong. I have a T-shirt for you. I will get it to you.
I think we should wear the matching T-shirts on Tuesday in person live.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll do the T-shirts.
Text me the size. We've got all sizes.
So yeah, we're excited. So I think that people need to tell us their T-shirt size when they give their answers.
T-shirt size, and the $25 gift card will likely be one of those Visa gift cards, because then you can use it anywhere in America or probably around the world. Except for Russia, because we don't use Visa in Russia anymore.
Not in Russia.
Sorry, folks.
But we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I know you saw all of our excitement. We get all excited and everything. But what are we closing with? We want you. She says, do we get one? No, Jenny. No. Jenny, no.
Well, I don't know. Staff might. Well, that's a different conversation. But folks, I'm going to quick say, while the judges are ruling on that, the excitement you saw today, because we haven't seen each other live in a while, live on Facebook, that is. But you just wait till next Tuesday, folks. It's going to be a awesome, cool, fun time together. No
Nothing.
Zoom wall between us. We're going to go through the wall. And we're going to see you at 160 68th Street Southwest. We're going to broadcast live with matching T-shirts, and we're going to keep rocking this because next Tuesday's May 3rd, which means next Saturday, May 7th, is our 2nd anniversary. We've been doing this 2 years, folks, and we're only building up speed because we keep identifying more and more and more barriers in our community to equity and inclusion, welcoming and belonging. Those are our goals as a community. So that's all I got to say. Drop the microphone, mute me, put me out. Boom.
All right. So we will see you guys live next Tuesday from 160 68th Street. Can you believe it? Yay! We are truly, truly excited about that. And don't forget to put your answers. Hey, inbox us, text us, email us, let us know what your answers are. Remember, it is a gift card and a T-shirt is what you're going to win.
Awesome sauce.
All right, guys. Until next week, you guys stay safe.